Hello everyone, my name is Professor Scheiding. Most of you I should know already. I think there's only one or two of you who I don't know, who I haven't had for class. But for those two of you who I haven't, you're getting to see the face of who's going to be teaching your course, or you're getting a reminder of who you had seen already for 15 or possibly 30 weeks already, that you'll be seeing for 6 more weeks for managerial econ 302 during the summer. Okay, so what I want to do in this video for about 15 to 20 minutes, I just want to go over the syllabus and kind of take it from there. Okay, so let's start to look at the things for the syllabus. Okay, so this has been posted already then. You can all read it, but I just kind of want to talk about it in person, just talk about it as I would if this were an in-person course. So this course is a 3-credit course. It's over 6 weeks, which is already tough enough for a course, but it's also a WI course. So it's a lot, but I'm trying to make it a little bit less intensive of the writing so that it still meets the minimum requirements that the university has, but it is only a 6-week course. I am on campus the entire time, so if you need to see me, you could always come to campus. I'm in, as many of you already know, I'm in E-Building Room 124. You could also send me an email. You could call me. This is my Google number, but you could also call me at the office at 808-689-2493. Or if you send me an email, I can also email you my office phone number. I'm going to be here, so if you want to see me, contact me. And I'm not, as many of you do already know, I'm not the kind of professor that neglects any of you. So if you are not getting a reply back from me within about a day, you should be emailing me a second time, because for some reason I've missed the original email. Something has become misdirected, and I want to be able to reply back to you. So send it to me again. I'll apologize that I didn't reply fast enough. You're not going to be bothering me. You're not, don't worry about that. Just send it to me again. Okay, here is the description of what this course does in 2 sentences, according to the catalog. But basically, here's how I see this course, is that, going even beyond what this says right here, basically it's like, what have you learned already in your Principles of Economics courses? And let's talk about it solely from the existence of how are you going to use this in the business world. So managerial economics would essentially be, how can we take economic concepts and apply them to what you would do after graduating, essentially. And we're going to be doing that over the course of 9 chapters over 3 different sections of this course. So what is going to exist is there is going to be a homework assignment for each of the 9 chapters that's going to be worth 25%. There's going to be 4 response papers that you have to write, and those are going to be collectively worth 20%. That means 5% each. There'll be 1 exam at the very end of this class that'll be worth 25%. And there'll be 3 underlying research assignments that lead to the writing of the final paper. Basically, you're taking these 3 assignments and they become the final paper. So it's not like you're doing 3 things and then another thing. These 3 things, you combine them together to become the final paper. And that's worth 30%, which breaks down as 15% as the final product, 5% for the initial projects that I provide comments on. Again, you'll have an assignment for each chapter, 4 response papers. You need to write about 3 pages for each of them. And then we have the research assignments that add up to the final paper of 7 to 9 pages. Basically, a course that's WI is supposed to generally have anywhere from 20 to 30 pages total, and we're meeting that by having the 12 pages here and the 9 pages here. I'm just going to go with a max, and that gave me 21, which basically gave me the bare minimum. These underlying assignments don't count the pages because they're basically what you're using for the final. It's the way that I give you, that you write something, I give you comments, and you use it for your final paper. Okay. Now, For this class, I don't know. This part, maybe if you represent a publisher, close your ears. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I did. I took great pains, and if any of you rat me out, then you'll ruin it for everyone else. Here's what I did. The textbook for this course is well over $100. I think it's actually closer to $200. And they just created a new edition of the book. So it's not even like people that took it last summer with me can even generally sell their book back. Here's what I did. I basically went and created a PDF of each of the 9 chapters that we're going to use. Okay, so it's not exactly, it's not exactly legit because it's not like this is like free use. It is the publisher's thing. I'm not trying to take it away from them. And there's a part of me that says that doesn't look as pretty anyway, right? You see like pages here, like it says page 20, and then you have to read it here. So, okay. But it's free. And for this kind of course, which occurs over 6 weeks, I'm not really sure if you need to have a print copy of the book. Now, if you want a print copy of the book, send me an email. I'll send you the link for Amazon of how you could buy the book yourself. But with these PDFs that you could save in print, you shouldn't have to buy the book yourself. As long as you're fine reading it in this kind of format, where, again, the pages are not exactly formatted correctly, but all the information is there. Okay. That's in Laulima. So, go into Laulima. For each of the chapters, you'll see these chapters, and you'll see one thing for textbook, one thing for slides, which are basically just as many of you who've had me for class already. You would see this kind of thing, and you would see, I'm not sure why that, for these slides, you should just be able to download them as a PDF. And then you'll see a video of me talking about the slides. So nothing too different from what you've seen before, and I do that for each of the 9 chapters. That's the things for Laulima. It's why you don't have to buy a book, basically, because I give you all of the chapters, the 9 chapters that you need, and you can just go in here and get the materials for each of them. There are 2 chapters at this point where I still have to make the video, and so I'll be doing that early next week. I'll be making those videos. The other thing that I'll be using is, because I'm not using the publisher's textbook, I can't use their website where I do homeworks and whatnot. So I created something called, I just learned about yesterday, May 18th, Thursday, today's Friday, I just learned about Google Classroom. So let me log out here so that I can show you how to sign up for it, because I'm going to imagine that for many of you, you're going to be using it for the very first time, just as I will be using it for the very first time. Okay, so I went to the website classroom.google.com, just to show you again, classroom.google.com. And then you're presented with the sign-in. Sign in with your hawaii.edu email address. And you will see our course, Econ 302. I'll be sending you an invite as well. But basically what you'll be seeing here is you'll be seeing everything else. You'll be seeing the homework assignments, you'll be seeing the paper assignments, the reflections. Everything that you have to turn in will be through this Google Classroom site that I'll invite you all to. I'm learning as I go along with this, so I'm sure that I'm bound to make mistakes, but essentially, if you're willing to work with me and accept minor things coming up, you won't have to pay anything for this class beyond paying tuition, which isn't too bad of a deal. Okay. This is the textbook that I'll be using. Again, you can get to it through Laulima, and you shouldn't have to be buying a copy of the book, but if you want to, go look it up. Academic integrity. Essentially, don't cheat. It's accepted and I'm absolutely fine when you're doing, for instance, the final exam, that you would have the PDFs and you'd be answering the questions using it. That's fine. But what would not be fine? Not be fine would be someone who's taken this course previously, you have them doing the exam. That kind of thing wouldn't fall in line with academic integrity. Accommodation, if you have a learning disability or other disability that needs to be accommodated, then contact Tom, and here's his phone number and email address. Now, there'll be class-wide extra credits available, but we won't have any. I don't generally do individual extra credits, and generally I won't accept things late. But I've structured the course so that you can work ahead. So if you know you've got a busy week at work for a certain week, you could work ahead and get through the material faster. The homeworks and whatnot are not posted right now as of May 19th, but by May 23rd, the second day of official course, I should have everything posted. So everything will be posted very, very soon. Here's all the dates for dropping the course, when we won't officially have class, and whatnot. Here's our grading scale. And then we have the response papers. We will have, again, 4 papers. I will basically assign a topic and you have to write 3 pages on them. And you have to provide some citations. The idea is that your first one might not be exactly what I want, but then I will give you comments. And by the 3rd and 4th one, I should see marked improvement. And that's how I'll be grading them as such. I'll be more lenient in my grading on the first 1 and 2, and a little bit tougher in my grading on the 3rd and the 4th. Tougher in the grading in the sense that if I've told you to do something and you still are not doing it, then your grade will reflect that. So look at the comments that I make, and I will be making the comments on a timely basis. And then we've got the research paper. I've decided to make things a little easier for everyone. Unless you tell me otherwise, I will give you a paper topic of what to write on. You don't have to pick if you don't like my topic, just ask for a different one. You don't have to pick. I think it makes it easier if I just give you a paper topic, since I can come up with paper topics quite quickly, and you might just be stuck and not know what to do. That's fine. I say here that you're required to go to the Noyal Center for comments and feedback. You don't have to. Your paper will be better, and your grade, I expect, would be higher if you went to the Noyal Center for comments. And they have an online way of getting your comments. But if you don't, I'm not gonna mark you down because you didn't go to the Noyal Center. And here's the rubric for how the assignments would be graded by for writing. And again, I will assign you the topic, and so our first paper will be due about a week after the course starts, and that would be the introduction. The second paper would be you writing your reference list, basically doing your research. In the third part of this, you'd be summarizing the articles that you have found. And then you'd be basically combining everything together, adding section 4 and 5, and you got a paper. And it shouldn't be that burdensome if you've done the other papers correctly. So here in the course schedule, you'll see that basically every 2 weeks, you'll have a big set of deadlines. You probably won't want to wait till the last minute, right? You're not going to want to wait until the very last minute to do everything. So you'll see here research assignment 1 is due May 30th, but everything else is due June 6th. Everything here is due June 20th. Everything here is due June 30th. And then the exam is the day after. The idea is that you could finish everything and then at least take the exam on July 1st if you had to. But again, it's lots of things. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to micromanage you in your schedule and say that things are due every week. I'm giving you 2-week blocks of times to do everything. And so you should have more than enough time to do each of the 3 sets of chapters. Now, for each of these chapters here, if I go back to La Lima, let's say you're watching chapter 1, you've got the slides that you could download here as a PDF. then you could watch the video. How can you watch the video? Well, you could do it one of two ways. You could either click on it here.
So,
and that's me talking.
First chapter, we're just going to give you kind of...
And so you could watch it within Laulima, or you could click on this YouTube logo right here. It'll pop out to YouTube. And then you could make it into a bigger screen. Okay.
As I do the slides, I'm writing on the slides.
Then what you could see here for the syllabus will be here. I won't be making use of this discussion in private messages. That'll all be done in Google Classroom over here. Okay, so much of the material in Google Classroom doesn't appear right now, but will be appearing very early next week. Your first deadline for anything isn't until the 30th of May. So you should have enough time to get your feet wet and kind of get into the material before things really start becoming due. Okay, so I hope that gives you a good overview, but if you have any questions, let me know.